everyone that chose to join our session, SMS Easy Button from Click to Convert. We'll go ahead and get moving. This session is going to explore how Georgia Tech's CRM services team unified Salesforce CRM, Marketing Cloud Engagement, and Mobile Connect into a seamless SMS communication experience for Scheller College of Business. I'll pass it to Mahesh to introduce himself, but I'll note that this project would not have been at all possible without his technical knowledge and skill. So, Mahesh.
Hi all, good afternoon. My name is Maheswara Reddy Parla. I'm working CRM services team from past 9 years and serving our business units stakeholders to implement their solutions and reaching out to the applicants, prospects, and serving all the students through our platform.
Thank you, Mahesh.
Thank you, Katie.
Great. And I'm Katie Beccue. I've worked in higher education for 9 years now and at Georgia Tech for 5. I currently serve as a business analyst on the CRM services team with Central OIT, which is under the Enterprise Application and Data Integrations umbrella, or EADI. I'm a bit of a self-professed data nerd, and I aim to spark joy for those we support through process optimization and delivery of working solutions, which we'll be happy to be sharing with you today. All right, now to share a bit about who we are and the enterprise CRM vision, which is to enable and empower the Georgia Tech Salesforce teams and users to unlock the potential of the Salesforce platform as an enterprise system of engagement. You'll see this simplified architecture diagram shows some of the integrations and interactions that work in and alongside CRM. So from Slate to Banner and EDW, the Salesforce platform is the consolidation point for a 365-degree view of learners and prospective learners for our partners. And who are our partners, you might ask? They include the College of Lifetime Learning, both professional education and the Language Institute, Scheller College of Business, Mechanical Engineering Grad Student Services, as well as the Office of Corporate Engagement and GTMI. Some of the use cases we serve include a traditional CRM use case of sales, so tracking down those leads, opportunities, and keeping track of interactions, wins, and losses, as well as marketing to credit and non-credit programs via email, etc. For recruitment via outreach with events and SMS, like we'll talk about today, as well as some admissions operations support and student services via advising, retention, experience enhancements, etc. So now that we've covered OIT CRM services vision and reach at a high level, let's get into the SMS use case for Scheller College of Business. The data behind SMS, or for text messaging for the uninitiated, statistics show that SMS open rates average 98%, while emails typically only about 20 to 32. 95% of SMS messages are read within 3 minutes, while emails often take a few hours to actually be opened and read. Average response time for email is 90 minutes, just 90 seconds for SMS. And what proves to be most effective is a combination of SMS and email, which has capacity to increase engagement by up to 35% across contact lists. Businesses using SMS are 5.89 times more likely to report digital marketing success than those that do not. So in general, the broader market has adopted SMS and applied it with success and noteworthy impact. So why SMS matters for Scheller College of Business? They identified SMS as a true area of opportunity for building connections with prospective learners. As noted in the last slide's stats, it's ideal for time-sensitive reminders, such as for events or application deadlines, since messages are delivered and seen almost instantly. Enabling SMS channels provide busy prospective learners with more options how they prefer to engage. And finally, increased engagement has a strong potential for a domino effect of increased conversion rates from prospect to applicant to student. So across the board, it sounded pretty good for Scheller to pursue this as an additional channel of communication. And with all of that in mind, we set out to deliver. Here's a high-level overview of the project milestones. At first, we focused on standardizing phone number data, really cleaning it, getting it to a point of being usable, as well as establishing opt-in mechanisms for SMS communications, including foundational setup for capturing phone number and consent via registration forms, and also integrating OneSub as a texting opt-in source. So overall, there's a strong focus on making sure everything on the technical side was connected and scalable. Laying a foundation with unified tools. Scheller event web forms collect SMS opt-in and phone number at the point of registration. Then in Salesforce, contact matching occurs where records are created or updated and added to the Scheller texting SMS opt-in campaign. SMS opt-ins are then tracked on the contact record in Mobile Studio within Marketing Cloud so that they can be understood as viable for text sends in the future. We currently intentionally limit new opt-ins to route through web forms to prevent duplication. That was a useful find in the pilot stage as well. So, unified platforms. Does that always equal unified experience? The Salesforce CRM, Marketing Cloud Engagement, and Mobile Connect integrate rather seamlessly out of the box with our kind of custom and first phase configuration as well. We had built a reliable and scalable framework for SMS opt-in and completed a successful pilot for event reminder text messaging. But, there's a but, after walking through the text message management experience ourselves during the MVP pilot, it was determined that it was a bit too much for end users. So when we were considering close of the project at phase 1, we decided not to move forward with launch to end users after assessing risk to adoption. So while assessing adoption risk, we considered the number of users that would need to be trained to take the action, the number of steps required to manage the process at that state, and the number of software systems that users would need to access. As a simple framework, the higher the total when multiplied can be an indicator for adoption risk. For example, in our phase 1 scenario, there were 8 event managers that would need to complete 8 steps in 2 systems. That totaled up to an adoption risk score of 128. The higher number indicates more risk points and opportunities for error. We decided that best practice would be to reduce that number to as close to the number of users as possible, meaning only 1 step is required in 1 system for each user as an ideal state. This, of course, assumes that user action is required or preferred, and full automation isn't at that state. So, all right, delivering a streamlined experience. The next phase of the project was aimed to streamline and scale the event reminder text process. by enabling event managers to trigger automated templatized SMS messages directly from Salesforce, and reducing complexity from multiple steps across systems to just a single step. You can see here that that phase one MVP stage would have required 8 steps, 2 systems, several different points in time, potentially even leading up to the event. So that brings in things like multiple users and lead time. At phase 2, with the additional customization delivered, we were able to bring it down to just requiring 1 step in one system at one point in time. It could be done by the event managers comfortably in less than 5 minutes. So this brings the adoption risk score way down and makes it much closer to that desired state. This visual shows the new end-to-end event reminder text process and how the majority is actually automated on the back end. And at this point, I've done most of the talking, but I want to hand it over to Mahesh to give us some more detail on how we achieve that automated process.
Thank you, Katie. Yeah, if you see, most of all the processes are automated, but previously there are a lot of steps the event managers needs to undergo in our first page. So to overcome that, we thought, okay, we want to do in one system, one step to complete all the setups from the manager side, event manager side. For that, we came up with a solution where we want the event manager to enter all the relevant details, which the reminders, text, all the dates, to which populations we want to send the reminders, all the information in one system, one time, and give the preview of what data and what message the event manager is kind of trying to send before the event manager tries to save those things. We created a flow where we capture all the information, including what event we want to set up and what text we is needs to be kept. It's a standard or custom. All the informations can be entered by the event manager um, in this process and verify that. And at the same time, these texts constitutes the number of characters used while sending a text to the end users. So before the event manager sets up any messages, custom messages and all, they can preview the data and see how many characters it is coming in the messages, how it appears final as a final send. All those informations are streamlined and created a process, a flow in Salesforce system. And once if it is set up, no need to worry. Automatically, all the data is kind of synced into appropriate systems. In this case, from Salesforce to Marketing Cloud, and Marketing Cloud Connect will be taken care of bringing all the data into the other system. At the same time, we set up all the automations journeys in the Marketing Cloud, which uses which campaign and what date the event reminders needs to be sent. All things are kind of automated, no need to worry, and automatically it will send all the informations. So the main part out of this entire automation to get into streamlined and less number of clicks, less number of interactions from the event managers is through the campaign message creation that we developed it and tested with the help of our event manager successfully and streamlined. Now it is using one step for every reminder or event. That's all about the campaign message. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Mahesh. That was great, great overview. And it was really designed with a very like white glove service for this specific use case, but with modular scalability in mind as well. As Mahesh noted, it can be potentially utilized for event for message purposes other than event reminders, and as well as for expanded beyond Scheller's use case in the future as well. So it's a really great solution. I like to give kudos to Mahesh whenever possible. So thank you. All right. Next up, we have driving team adoption. The Technology Acceptance Model, or TAM, by MIT Age Lab states that adoption is driven by perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness. If a process is complex or has many steps or requires extensive training, perceived ease of use drops, making adoption less likely. The inverse is also true, and this is why we took measures to provide event managers with an SMS easy button. As a result, the onboarding process was greatly simplified. Event managers were enabled to utilize the new process in just a single hour of hands-on training. The content of supporting documentation was greatly reduced, going from around 16 pages to just 3. And we received feedback of increased user satisfaction and eagerness to operationalize. You can see in this screenshot here that the Create Campaign Message button is easily accessible with just one click on a page already incorporated in the event management process. And that button brings up the screen flow that Mahesh spoke to, which is just a series of 3 or 4 very simple inputs, some of it pre-populated based off of details already in Salesforce. Makes it a very simple, smooth process that they can complete in less than 5 minutes very easily. So set and forget was the goal here. As for measurable results, higher engagement rates of events launched with this new functionality, an average of 72% of registrants are opting in to receive text from Scheller at the point of registration. So indicating that they definitely want to hear from Scheller. And we have also seen a trending higher average event attendance rate. This is an early stage, but 60% for SMS supported events versus 50 for email only events, based on a sample set of Scheller in-person events for 2025. And it is a bit early to show exact ROI, but we're estimating this feature to positively impact Scheller total enrollments by a modest 0.2% at minimum. This would result in a projected 45K increase in potential tuition revenue annually, and that is a 360% return on investment from the implementation work to deliver. Some other benefits include the improved operational efficiency. The ease of user enablement has been maximized and projected reliance on technical support minimized with phase 2 enhancements. And we've also received some positive feedback from Scheller user after their first solo event text message setup, basically stating that they're ready to go, things are easy to use, and no questions. That's what I like to hear from users. And so by unifying platforms and simplifying processes, we transform SMS communication from what could have been complex, multi-step task into a seamless, scalable experience. The SMS Easy button is a reflection of our commitment to data-driven innovation, user-centered design, and meaningful engagement. As we continue to evolve, we'll let data guide us, feedback shape us, and simplicity drive adoption. Thank you all for joining us on this journey from click to convert. And we are definitely here to answer any questions that might come up as well. All right. Thank you all for the digital applause there. Always appreciate it. But if any
Katie?
questions do come, hey, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, yes, there are some questions that have come through in the Q&A.
Okay.
And so I'll share them with you here. The first one is there a backend API active that we can utilize with our own systems for sending SMS?
So this is pretty exclusively like Salesforce setup. If there's an interest in utilizing Marketing Cloud, it does allow for API calls, but we'd have to have an offline conversation on options there. But thank you, Braxton, for bringing that up. We'd definitely be see conversations in the future where we might be able to overlap.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. And the next question is two-part. The first question is, how has this enhancement impacted the experience from the staff using this functionality? And the follow-up to that is, how involved were they in the design of the overall solution?
Sure. So the enhancement impact, I think, is the phase 2 really makes it usable, where phase 1, if we had launched at that state, it would have been more difficult, I think, in creating and maintaining the appetite for the new tool. So we really wanted to take the time to focus and make the new feature and functionality something that was easy to use, not just the perceived added benefit of, SMS is great, but it's something that they really want to use because it doesn't add a lot of friction to their existing processes. So that was a main focus for us in delivering a streamlined experience for the staff using the functionality. And as far as involvement, we worked closely with the leadership on getting feedback, as well as, of course, with Dwayne James and Dan Santos. Big shout out to them on the Scheller team. We worked in lockstep in developing the solution and design. So.
Thanks so much for that. And I actually have a follow-up question myself, just out of
Sure.
curiosity. I noticed you said that you've seen an uptick in the engagement with the campaigns since switching to or enabling SMS. I guess, is there do your customers feel like there's a growing trend with a shift away from traditional email marketing toward SMS? Or do you think that it's just because their user base specifically just appreciates, I guess, text a little bit more than a traditional email?
Yeah, good question. I think in this use case and what I've seen in the stats that back it up is that SMS is primarily supplemental, so not necessarily in replacement of email, but in addition to. And it should always be used with a very conservative, kind of targeted use case in mind, because uh, opt out of SMS is going to happen much faster than opt out of email. So always use it with a very precise, pointed use case that is valuable and must have value. So I would say that we do see like uh, probably younger generations are much more likely to be interested in receiving a text over an email, but we don't want to give up email either. So a little bit of both. It's supplemental, a little bit of both. It's got to be targeted, I guess, is in summary there. But
That's really helpful. So it's like the
yeah,
icing on the cake, basically. But
exactly,
it shouldn't be.
exactly.
Okay, awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
email's not going anywhere. It'll be around. But yeah, good question.
Well,
Good
thank
stuff.
you so much, Katie. I am going to drop the link to the evaluation of this session in the chat for anyone who wants to um, provide feedback. We welcome and highly encourage feedback for the session. And I'll also kick it back over to you. I don't want to take over because there may be some additional questions that come through. So I'll kick it back over. I just wanted to make mention that we'll be sharing the evaluation link in the chat as well.
No, that's perfect. I think we've got the QR code there as well. All right. I'll hang out for just a little bit. If y'all do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We're happy to discuss. And hope y'all enjoy the rest of Data Days. Thanks for joining.
Thank you all. Bye.
So there's one question that's come through in the chat as well, Katie. And was there anything that surprised you during the implementation?
That surprised us. I wouldn't say too much surprises. It was really just a matter of, as any project, you're collecting as much information as you can at the early stages, and then if and when new information comes up as you're progressing through it, it's adapting to those as they arise. But I can't say of anything in particular that was surprising, but that's the overall approach there. I guess the how quickly people were really willing to opt into text was a pleasant surprise as well. I didn't expect a 72% average opt-in rate this early, so that was a pleasant surprise, I'd say. All right, I'll say last call. Any questions or